Thanks for coming out, everybody, today for this presentation. Today we're going to talk about the effectiveness of demonstrating and how you should add a demonstration to your presentations and how to make them more effective. Before we begin, I just want to introduce myself to you guys. So my name is Matt Blanton. I've been with KFC for going on 20 years now. I started back in 1996. I left for about a year and a half. I managed restaurants. Now I work on the KFC help desk and manage a team of level 2 and level 3 technicians. So I've given several presentations myself within doing team meetings and group meetings and different classes within the organization. So you guys have an agenda on your table there. If you guys want to pick that up, we'll look at it here. So we're going to talk about today what's in it for me. So like, why is this beneficial for you, and what will you get out of this presentation? The need for doing demonstrations and why it's important to do a demonstration in your presentations and when you're facilitating. The advantages and the disadvantages of doing a demonstration. We're going to put it into practice. We're going to have a little activity here in a little bit where you guys can make a little snack for yourselves. And then at the end, we'll wrap it up with any comments, questions, concerns that anybody would have. All right? So what's in it for me? So one of the things that that's kind of beneficial of doing the demonstration is it improves your presentation skills. For one, it fills time within your presentation, but also it engages your audience and it helps you to put into practice what you're actually trying to, the point that you're trying to get across. Memorable experiences for your audience, it kind of helps it stick with them a little more if they can relate what you've demonstrated with the topic that you're trying to present on. And then increased effectiveness. Again, it goes back to the same point to where it's going to mean more to the audience and they're going to get more out of the presentation if they have a practical application such as a demonstration to fall back on. So needs for demonstration. So when to use demonstrations, when not to use them. So one thing you need to take into consideration is your audience type. So if you're doing, for example, if you're doing a topic for new parents and you're going to talk about how to raise new babies, a good practical application would be maybe to have a baby doll in there and show them how to change a diaper. Or if you're going to be doing a demonstration for a small audience of kids, you'd want to make sure it's entertaining and fun. So you just got to consider your audience type and is it appropriate? And is the topic appropriate to a demonstration? The next factor you need to consider is time. So one thing you need to do is always be mindful of the time that your presentation starts and the time that it ends, and be mindful of that. In a business atmosphere, people's days, they plan their days around meetings and around the set time beforehand. So you just always need to be mindful of time and if you'll have enough time to actually do your demonstration in an effective period there. Another consideration is finances. So your budget. So do you have a budget for your presentation? Do you not have a budget? And it's important to keep that in mind. And if you do have one, it's important to make sure that you're being effective with the money that you've been given and getting the most out of it. And then you also need to consider, are examples or illustrations, are those a better alternative to demonstrations? So what are you going to need? Are you going to use an example, which is just kind of a verbal explanation of something, or are you going to use an illustration, where you got to actually use a demonstration, which is a demonstration is something, a physical act, when you're actually showing somebody how to do something. So should I use the demonstration? So here's some advantages and disadvantages. So advantages, I've already talked on the audience engagement and kind of getting them to buy into what you're talking about and getting them to participate and something to stick. And then also providing visual representation to an idea, which makes it more meaningful and more impactful. Some disadvantages,